In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make hexagon coasters. I'm going to be using scraps. If you recall in my last video, I made a lot of scraps, as seen right here. I also have some other fabric I can use as the main feature in the design. I have over here some hexagon templates. I got this from Hobby Lobby quite a while back. I haven't decided on what size I'm going to make yet, but I'm going to figure it out right now. So I've got various sizes right here. All of them come with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I have a 2 inch, 1.5 inch, 1 1/4 inch. I think these two birds right here are really adorable and would look really great in the center of a coaster. So, realistically speaking, it appears I'll be going with the 2 inch option. So I'm just going to capture that right in there. I'm going to try to center it. And I think that looks great. So I'm going to take my rotary cutter. I'm going to hold this down, and I'm just going to cut. Okay. I'm going to take a piece of batting, and I'm going to place this right on top of that batting. I'm going to give myself plenty of space here. And now I'm going to take some scrap pieces. I think this complements this quite well. And I'm going to go ahead and flip it right sides down, pin it in place, and then I'm going to do the same thing down here. Make sure you've got it edge to edge here. Pin. I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine, and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch down this side and down this side. Let's see what else we can do here. I could keep adding different greens, or I could venture out. I think I'm going to keep it with the green theme, and I'll branch out into pinks and reds afterwards. So once again, I'm just going to place this here. You could also place it here. It doesn't matter. I think this color green looks better over here though. Make sure it's overlapping. And then I'm going to give it a little cut. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to turn this up. I'm going to snip this off just to reduce some bulk. Pin in place. Add this. Right here looks about right. So a 1/4 inch seam, and you can go right over these pieces here. Once again, open up your pieces. You can see it's coming together now. The main thing is I'm ensuring that it's long enough to cover all of our other bordering pieces. And now I'm going to start pulling at that red. I have a little bit of a space here, so I'm going to cover that up. I'm going to put it right here. And then that way, we pull this down, it's going to cover any part I may have missed. Here I think I'll use some pink. I think that would look quite nice. All right, we've now got ourselves a big mess. So now it's time to trim this down. And we have to decide how big we want it. It's 4 inches. Let's go ahead and add 2.5 inches and just see how that looks. This is a bit too large for my taste. In fact, we're at about 9 inches. I would like to take this down anywhere from 5.5 to about 6 inches. So now I'm going to move this in and I'm going to start trimming again. If you find you have these little nubs here, but there's plenty of fabric underneath this, just take the nub off. I'll be removing this and this nub. Just like that. I'm going to take this over to the ironing board right now, and then I'll show you how to put on the backing. Okay, and there she is. I reduced mine down just a little bit more, about 1/4 inch, and I think that's quite cute. Of course, if you'd like yours smaller, you can always just make your hexagon a bit smaller, or you can use thinner strips in order to get more on there. Really, it's all up to you. So this is 6 7/8 this way. And if I were to go this way to where it sticks out on the sides there, is just under 8 inches, which puts us again probably about 7 7/8. That's perfectly fine for me. Now it's time to put on the backing. I've got here a scrap piece of fabric that appears to be just the right size. Yep, it fits. So I'm placing this right sides to right sides, and I'm going to pin this in place. And I'm just going to sew right along the edge here, about a 1/4 inch seam. I'm going to leave one opening right here so I can turn it out. I'm going to clip my little edges here, the points. And now I'm going to turn it out. So because we have our pieces sewed down onto the batting, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slightly curve the top in where I can, And then I'm going to take this longer piece down here. I'm going to fold it over, and then I'm going to fold it again very slightly, and that will hide the raw edge. And I'm going to almost bind it down there. Take a pin and hold it in place. Make sure everything is cut. All those raw edges are snatched, as the kids say. Take this over to your iron, press it nice and flat. Make sure you press this down as well. Once you've pressed this, sew this shut right along the edge and go ahead and give a nice top stitch. Here we have the finished product. You can see here that I used this as binding. Now another thing you could do is you could cut your backing fabric a little bit larger, just enough to fold it in once and then fold it in twice all the way around your hexagon. And that way you could actually bind all the way around that. I opted to do it this way, and it worked out just fine. This is the back, and this is the front. Came together very quick, very fast. These make wonderful decor, quick gifts, or just a fun little project. Thank you for watching, and happy sewing.